The Father says, play this whole thing for you. Our next step here. This will help you, babe. Fairly up to date.
What are familiar spirits? And how can one defeat them? Before I take you deeper, allow me to say this up front. Familiar spirits are ruthless. Familiar spirits are heartless, are merciless. And not because other diabolic spirits are not ruthless. They are. But familiar spirits, they take the cup. And if there be a spirit that I hate with passion, with everything that is in me, is what we call familiar.
Those are my words, definitely. Those words have come out of my mouth. Now, no, let him.
Gatorade Zero has the #1 proven electrolyte blend with zero sugar. Is it in you? Romans 8:28 reminds us that God works for the good
You see what I just did there?
of those who love him. You may be feeling stuck or uncertain, but don't forget, God can change everything in an instant. That's why you need.
What are familiar spirits? And how can one defeat them? Before I take you deeper, allow me to say this up front. Familiar spirits are ruthless. Familiar spirits are heartless, are merciless. And not because other diabolic spirits are not ruthless. They are. But familiar spirits, they take the cup. And if there be a spirit that I hate with passion, with everything that is in me, is what we call familiar spirit. In plural, familiar spirits. So what are they? Let's break it down. A normal definition will say familiar spirits is a spirit of a dead person or dead people invoked by another person so that they could receive guidance or prophecy from them. But what does the Bible say about familiar spirits? According to the Hebrew Bible, a familiar spirit is called a household servant. A household servant. And of course, there's a reason why the Bible will call a familiar spirit a household servant. Let's go to Leviticus 19 and we read verse 31. The Bible reads, regard not them that have familiar spirits, meaning they are people who have familiar spirits. Neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. In Isaiah 8 verse 19, God is saying as well, do not go to people who have familiar spirits. So the word familiar spirits in the Bible appears more than 12 times. In the New Testament, we see the word familiar spirit appearing 2 times and 9 times in the Old Testament. So since according to the Bible, Hebrew Bible, a familiar spirit is a household servant. What does that mean exactly? I'm going to quickly break it down, then I take you higher. Please pay attention. A household servant.
This is why I always called you Satan's handmaid, babe.
Is someone that you open your door for. I'll say that again. Is somebody that you open your door for. And depending on how long the person has been working for you, chances are in no time they will know your house, every corner of your house, in and out. They will end up knowing things that you never shared with them. Just by observing you. They will know your favorite meal, favorite food. They will know your favorite drink. They will know what time you go to bed. They will know who visits you at what time. And because of what they know, because of what they are familiar with, they can easily give you up to the enemy. they can easily betray you. They can easily send you to your enemies. Remember.
Now, I'm going to pause there because I'm being told to. We'll let the Lord expound upon this. There's a difference between someone getting to know you in person and someone watching your videos and studying you. Mary's done both. Now, I would advise casting it out, but the host is still going to be connected because it's coming through a principality. It's not always through witchcraft. So we have to let the spirit of truth that leads us into all things step in here. So once you cast it out, it searches. It's still connected to the principality. Dark gets shot into another individual. Mary walks up. Now she's speaking to that same familiar spirit again. Once you have agreed and begin speaking, and your heart is postured back towards the devil, it goes right back into them. Such as, find 7 more evil than itself. And the condition of that house is worse than before. So this is 2018 to 2025 experience I have in America. No, they're not the spirits of dead people. They have a specific purpose. They were created. When demonic knowledge is passed on to you that goes against scripture, it's simply what it is. Could be your own spiritual condition, who you actually are. You have to remember you were a spirit that was clean. You made all of your choices. You were born, went to sleep, born, went to sleep, born, went to sleep, born, went to sleep, never came to Christ, which is what the scripture says. To be absent from the body is to be present with me. Never really met me. That goes for this entire generation, mostly the ones that died in the flood. So when you begin to see time doesn't exist, it's simply a biblical decision that you are all living in, because you are a creation. Then you must understand why you have these emotions, thoughts, and the ability to act upon them. You did all of those things before you even were assigned a vessel. And you made your choices based on your knowledge of God. Those that had already chosen me were prophets, kings, the good, favored people in the scripture. That is who they were. That's who they are. So you maintain all of that throughout your everlasting life if you accepted me 2,000 years ago. And then if not, you were reserved for judgment. Now, when you're dealing with a familiar spirit, you have to realize what impact it can have on you if you are not discerning and not already with your heart postured towards my will. There's no way around this. This is one of the biggest issues that ripped apart the kingdom marriage. Because if you're not with me, there's no way I am speaking to you. So this is supposed to give you an opportunity to choose. You want God or the devil. So whoever you're postured to is who you agree with. When you go into an agreement with the demon, you belong to the devil. That is a legal claim the devil has on you. What Mary doesn't understand a lot of times when we are in a situation where she's got the choice to either reconcile, come back into heaven, her marriage to Jesus, protection, she has always chosen not to. And then a familiar spirit in another vessel pretty much demands to see her. And as legally owned by the devil, it is permitted. Therein, a transaction occurs. And when her back is turned, that spirit looks at me and says, mine. So it's been a battle. Once you know the affliction, then you can prayerfully take the steps needed to have the proof and evidence in front of them, such as using restraint, letting things play out, letting them suffer. Until they come to that point, they must be mistaken. Then, when you're using biblical terms and you can back it up, the truth is so much fuller and believable. But again, it has to be recognizable because the person actually is interested and their heart is postured towards receiving help. This goes back to the you'll seek me with, you search for me with all of your heart. So depending on what stage of your relationship you are in with me, as your life reflects my words, then you are free. I love you.